Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to a brand new video. As always, my name is Harmon. Today's video is all about a 34-year-old woman named Julie Mitchell, who unfortunately was murdered in her house, and it has actually been unsolved since she was murdered. It's still unsolved, so it's a pretty interesting case. We're going to get into the details, of course. And I'm actually currently here walking around through the cemetery where she is buried, which is in a town called Shawnee, Oklahoma. And she's buried at the Rest Haven Memorial Park Cemetery. Where she was murdered at was actually in Oklahoma City. So Julie Mitchell, she was found murdered on November 2nd, 2010 in her house by her stepson around 10:20 or so p.m. Her house is located at 640 Northwest Oklahoma City. They found her 13-month-old daughter next to her. The 13-month-old daughter was actually perfectly okay. I was reading some Facebook messages that she had written during that time frame, before she was murdered. And she wrote, "I'm so happy. I am now a mom. I love my little baby girl more than I could ever imagine. Life has now officially begun." And so just reading that, it actually, I don't know, it just kind of affected me, just hearing, how excited she was to finally be a mom. Her daughter would be about 11 or 12 years old right now. So, I mean, think about her daughter growing up knowing that her mom was killed. Just absolutely, just a travesty. A couple months later, January 27th, 2011, the autopsy was finally released, and it said that Julie suffered a lot. She suffered a broken nose, broken jaw, shattered skull, broken rib, and 25 huge cuts on her scalp. 4 teeth were missing, and she had a cut on her tongue, chin, lips, and also had cuts and bruises on her face, as well as a bone inside her mouth was broken, and as well as abrasions on her chest. So she obviously was brutally attacked. They had like a grand jury trial type thing for her death investigation, and that both Julie's husband, Teddy, as well as stepson, Daniel, both testified. As well as Julie's other 2 stepsons, Nick and Dryden. They both testified. A witness named Michael Thomas refused to testify, citing his Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination. At the time of Julie's death, Julie's husband, Teddy, who was a well-known gambler, was out of town when the murder took place. He served time in federal prison for gambling charges 3 years after her death, but he's out of prison now. So I was reading some of the police reports, and it says that there wasn't any indication of any sexual assault, but it does say that her body was found in front of a safe in a closet, and that a considerable amount of money was taken from the safe. So it looks like the motive was burglary. Obviously, her husband had a big gambling issue, so I'm kind of just theorizing out loud, but what if her husband owed a ton of money to some bookies or other people for his gambling, and what if they came back to the house to get the money back, and maybe Julie kind of accidentally got in the way of that. That's just a thought. They never stated that Teddy was really a suspect per se. They didn't really charge him ever with her murder. Just says like in 2012 is the last time that they really took any evidence, and that they searched the one witness's home, the Michael Thomas, who refused to testify in court. They took his computers and a DNA sample, but it doesn't state that they found any evidence or anything like that. Again, as far as we know, it looks like this murder is still unsolved.